Good morning, everyone, and what a great Monday it is, all the way from sunny Chicago as of right now. I don't know what the weather's going to be like later, but we have that bipolar weather here. I wanted to take this opportunity to put together for some of my new followers and some of the new members that are in my group on Facebook some of the study materials that I use, and then I also have a message for everyone at the end for the power of yet. I urge you to watch this entire video because I have a message for those at the end who are feeling anxious, who are feeling discouraged. I have a few words of encouragement for those who are going through that while you are on this journey. So let's get started with some of the study materials. These were two of the books that I used. They were actually two of the only books that I used. The Eli Karam one, which is on my right. A lot of information. He has a lot of information, especially for the research-based component. There's a lot of information. I know some people say it's just too much. Well, sometimes too much is what's best. It's better to know more than to be knowing less when it does come time for test day. He shares a lot of information. He goes in detail about different interventions that each of the models use, which is very good. So get Eli Karam's book. You can't go wrong with it, because then you can also match that with Violini's book, which is to my left over here. Violini's book is made up in parts where each model that he explains is broken down in the domains for the test. So that is a good thing. Another thing about Violini's book is that there are blank pages in it for you to fill in the blanks of the different terms. So before you go to the back of the book, please see if you can fill in the definitions yourself without having to check the definitions first. That is one of the good things. And then once I filled in the definitions and stuff for the book, I would stop going to the back of the book, because then I put it in a way that I could understand it. But I have been telling everybody, what one study program lacks, another one makes up for it. So what one book lacks, another one will make up for it. So these two books matched very well when I was studying. And if you would like, I would urge you to buy them. They both are on Amazon. I want to say they're both about hitting over $50. Don't quote me on that. Sometimes they put stuff on sale, but go ahead and check it out and see. Now, these are the study programs that I use. I used quite a lot. Like I said in my last video, everybody's financial situation is different from mine. But yeah, I used all of these. From even the pocket preps, the ones that are on the phone, test.com, PDF test banks that you pay for, like Stuvia or these other websites. I've kind of used a plethora of them, and then I'll just go through the main ones, some of the big ones that everyone is aware of, and some of the main ones that I use that kind of helped me, which was Laugh Your Way to Licensure, Diane Gerhardt, of course. Her program is filled with all kinds of information. She has PowerPoint presentations. She has videos that she posts. She has information for those who are testing in California as well. For the California exam, the law and ethics exam, then she also, of course, does it for the national exam. So in her presentations that she does, she's talking you through them. There's a lot of them where she's talking you through the different models. She also go through her mock exam that she does provide for you, and you can take it as many times as you want to. Her mock exam questions, she does presentations for those, and she teaches you how to do the breadcrumbs. Godsend. Teaching you how to do the breadcrumbs and highlighting was one of the best things that I have ever learned when it came to taking this exam. So if you are interested, Laugh Your Way to Licensure. It's really good. A lot of information, yes, but try to find some way to kind of put it in order, because like I keep saying, it is a lot. I couldn't find how much hers was on the website without having to exit all the way out and go back to my cart, but I cannot remember how much I paid for it, but it's well worth it. And if your I guess your time runs out when you can use it, like your subscription, email them. They'll give it right back to you instantly. It was so quick and easy. I loved it. Her videos are also on YouTube, so go ahead and check that out as well. The red light, yellow light, green light, how to do the breadcrumbs, the 3 steps to success. She has all of that on there, so go ahead and check it out. Now, this is TDC, the Therapist Development Center. Again, a lot of information. I was able to get the price for this one. As you can see, $350. A lot of information. They weigh heavily on the research component as well. They have a lot of the assessment tests and stuff that you can do with your clients in session. I didn't have anything like that on my exam, but I guess it's, like I said, no more. It's best to know more than to know less, right? But yes, I've heard a lot of people have some negative reviews when it came to TDC, that it was very vague. They didn't like it. It wasn't enough information. My thing is, it was too much information for me. I used it. They also have a mock exam that you can do as well. I think they only have one, if memory serves me right, only one. But yes, they do. They have a lot of information. So if you're thinking about using TDC, then you will get that component where you have a lot of information. Now, Family Solutions Institute. I believe this matches with the Big Green Book. I have heard negative reviews on the Big Green Book as well. Never used it, but I did do their test banks, and as you can see, $125. Their test banks are pretty difficult. They are a little bit harder than the AATBS and the Jerry Grossman, but however, it teaches you a lot. It teaches you so much with the rationales. So if you wanted to get a test bank, also get this test bank if you can. It's not that the questions, you look at the questions and say, oh, those questions are hard. That's fine. Well, then learn from them. I am really big on every opportunity that you take should be a learning opportunity. Family Solutions Institute also weighed heavily on the history of the theory and the theorists. You learn so much more information about the history of the theory and the theorists than you're not going to learn in Violini's book or Karam's book. Just like I keep saying, what one study program does not have, another one will make up for it. If you would like to get the Family Solutions Institutes, they have the mock exams for 100 and 180 questions, as well as 200 questions that kind of mimics the exam. The questions, after a while, you'll start reading the questions, you'll learn them, you'll understand them. At some point, I was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe how difficult this is. But then after a while, when I started learning and understanding and I gained clarity over it, it was much more easier for me. AATBS, love it. Only did test banks, thousands of questions. You get the opportunity. They give you genograms. They give you different assessments that you can look at, pre-tests that you can do, just kind of get a feel for where you are when it comes to the test. They break, I believe AATBS breaks it down by domain, so you can choose which questions from which domain you want to work from, and it's good. They have thousands of questions, different study packages that you can buy. I think there's something where you can subscribe for 90 days, 120 days or whatever. The prices vary. So I can't tell you exactly how much they cost, but head on over to the website, take a look at them, see what they have to offer for you. The test banks were a godsend for me. Okay, studying the questions, studying the rationales, best thing that I ever could have did when it came to taking this exam. Jerry Grossman, same exact way, different study packages. You can subscribe to them. I don't know how much money each of them are because it depends on which one you're subscribing to. But their questions, I thought, and this is just my opinion, they're a tad bit harder than the AATBS, and that's okay, because with both AATBS, Jerry Grossman, and Family Solutions Institute, you are always going to get a rationale for those questions. And in that rationale, you are continuing to learn about the different models, about the different theories, about the DSM-5 diagnosis. Every question is a learning opportunity. I rest heavily on that. If you want to take a look at any of these packages, head on over to Family Solutions Institute, Jerry Grossman, or AATBS. The test banks are amazing. They were a godsend for me. Now, let's take it back to the drawing board. Who remembers those good old flashcards when we were little working with your parents? These were a godsend for me as well. I love making my flashcards, especially for the DSM-5. So much easier when you get to look at the word, and then you also get that instant gratification when you've got it right because you can flip it over and look at it. I did flashcards for the DSM-5 for key terms, interventions, the theory, and the theorist, just to quiz myself to see how much. It is best to know your key terms and which key terms goes with which theory, which theorist, which model, so that when it comes time for the test, you know automatically, hey, that response doesn't match, and you can do away with it. Know your DSM-5s, know your criteria. Those key terms, those interventions of those models are so important, because then you'll be able to see like, oh, that intervention matches this theory, so that does not go for that question. It is a godsend. Flashcards actually saved my life. So when I finally did all my flashcards for all of the theories, the theorists, the DSM-5 and everything, I stopped using the books, because I weighed heavily on the flashcards, because it was based on my understanding and I was able to have clarity from it. Get the flashcards, do the flashcards. You can never go wrong with using flashcards. Apply, apply, apply. I have told this to so many different people. People crack up laughing at me when I tell them this, but if you're like struggling with trying to like how to understand like some of the DSM-5 diagnosis, start looking at some of your family members, your friends, and your coworkers. I guarantee you there's a diagnosis that you can attach to them that will help you better understand that DSM-5 diagnosis. I cannot express this enough. If you have diagnosed a family member, please comment. I would love to know what some of your family members' diagnoses are. This was one of the things that I actually like continue to do daily, especially using the interventions within my own family. You cannot go wrong if you are using it. It means that you understand it. And the more that you use it, you gain clarity, you gain an understanding of it. Use your techniques in your sessions. If you are practicing, if you're seeing clients, use those techniques. It means that you understand it. You're gaining a better way to look at it from, other than just reading it on a piece of paper, because now you're applying it to real life. This exam does become a part of your life, but it is only temporary. This is not something that is forever. It should not be forever. No matter how much the state wants to take this money from us, this is not something that should be forever. It's only temporary. Apply, apply, apply. Make it your own. Make it so that you can understand it. This is what my studying looked like. I always prayed first. And if you are not a prayer, that's fine. But try to find some way that you are going to slow your heart rate down, center yourself. I've talked to a few people, well, they would actually tell me every time I get ready to study, I get anxious. And I would ask them, okay, well, where are you studying at? And they would say, well, I study at the same place. And I have to tell them, leave that place, because every time you get there, anxiety is going to be waiting for you. Do something different. If you've been studying in a house for so long, go sit in a park, go sit on the front porch, go sit outside. Go to Panera Bread, go someplace else where you can have something that's different for you to like study in, and like, so that you can obtain it and feel more comfortable, right? So I always prayed first, opened up with prayer, and I ended with prayer, right? And then the next thing I did, I quizzed myself first. And with each chapter that I read, I wasn't trying to like beat it into my brain, like, oh, you got to understand this, Kira, you got to get it, you got to get it. No, I'm reading casually. That information in those books sometimes are like, what does that even mean? I don't understand that. What are they talking about? At first, just read, get used to the language, familiarize yourself with some of the wording, and then go back and do like, a review, and then check your understanding. Studying, it should not be something that is just like, it's hard. Like, I got to get this. Make your studying fun. That's how I did. I always tried to make it like it was something that was fun. It was something exciting. And then that way you get excited when it's come time for you to take your exam. And then at the end of everything, at the end of every chapter, I always went back and quizzed myself. And then I would do a review just to make sure that I understand it, just to make sure that it's sticking. I started with prayer, like I said, and I ended with prayer. But then I also played my favorite song, Firm Foundation by Maverick City. If you are a Maverick City fan, please leave me a comment of one of your favorite Maverick City songs. I would love to listen to it. Firm Foundation by Maverick City speaks words over you that lets you know that God will not fail you. You will not fail this exam. I cannot express it enough. We need to be feeding ourselves these encouraging words, feeding our brains, feeding our thoughts, feeding into our behaviors, so that we are going to be able to maintain and gain clarity over the information that is in this book. And again, like I keep saying, this is temporary. It's only temporary. 2 hours is all I study, no more. Please do not beat yourself up over this. 2 hours, you have to have boundaries put in place for that. And you know what? Give yourself some grace because you still have a life, even though you are temporarily trying to attempt to pass this exam that eventually you are going to pass. This word, this term, and these are my final thoughts. I'm going to leave you all with this. The power of yet. I cannot express this enough that when it comes to the challenges that we may face, we have to have that growth mindset no matter what may come our way. And this is one of those things that tells us that even though I have these challenges, I have not overcome them yet. And one of the biggest things, and this is for my people who have taken this exam 3, 4, 5, 10, 12, however how many times that you have taken this exam, you have not passed it yet. But I am here to tell everybody, all of my viewers, all of my people that's in my group, you are going to pass. Now is your time. Now it's your turn. It is your turn. We are done with the I can't do this, or this doesn't work for me, or I just don't understand it. You can't do it yet. You don't understand it yet. Each and every day that you sit there, you open that book, Violini's book, Karam's book, AATBS, Jerry Grossman Test Banks, and you see that you got a question wrong. I don't have it yet. Go back, look at that question, look at that rationale. Get to know it, familiarize yourself with it so that you can have it, that you have the clarity, that you have the understanding. You may not be scoring high on those mock exams, but you're not scoring high yet. You will get there. I am a person, I do not believe in coincidences. We all cross this path for a reason. We were placed on this path to meet each other for a reason, and whatever that reason, that purpose, we are all striving for the exact same goal. We have not come to the end. There is no, don't put a period after it because it's so much left to follow once you do. This is temporary. This exam is temporary. Taking this test is temporary. Studying for this exam is temporary. Knowing these terms, well, that may not be temporary because you need to know the terms when you're in therapy, but knowing the terms in order to pass this exam, it's temporary. And I want us to look at it that way because you have not passed the exam yet.